أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا وسندنا وحبيبنا وحبيب ربنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا أما بعد. عن النعمان بن بشير قال: مثل القوم الذي في حدود الله والواقع فيها كمثل قوم استحموا على سفينة فثار بعضهم أعلاها وبعضهم أسفلها إلى آخر الحديث. The current situation that we are watching before our eyes in Palestine is heartbreaking, to say the least. And what is emerging thereafter is also upsetting. You have politicians that are making these statements, and listen to them carefully. Andrew Yang. Anyone know who Andrew Yang is? Mm-hmm. And what was he running for? Assembly, right? Running from here. He says, I'm standing with the people of Israel who are coming under bombardment attacks and condemn the Hamas terrorists. This is his statement on his Twitter account. The people of NYC will always stand with our brothers and sisters in Israel who face down terrorism and persevere. Anyone know Eric Adams? Eric Adams? Yes. This was posted on his Twitter. I'm told he took it down, and it was a mistake. Today on Yom Yerushalayim, Israel came under attack from Hamas, fired rockets in Gaza. Israelis live under the constant threat of terrorism and war, and New York City's bond with Israel remains unbreakable. These are our politicians. And the reality is so far from this. The reality is that the Israeli government is committing acts of terrorism against innocent civilians of Palestine. That's the reality. But who will know that? How will that reach anyone? That's my responsibility and your responsibility in many fronts. Many fronts. Our whole effort in the month of Ramadan was to emerge as true believers. The whole point of reflection, contemplation, devotion was to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the ultimate source of all authority, all power. And I need to connect with Him to be successful in this life and the next. And when I decide that, and when I have concluded that, then I must stand up for oppression, whether I'm oppressing myself. How do I oppress myself? Committing sin. I oppress myself by committing sin. Why? يَوْمَ نَخْتِمُ عَلَىٰ أَفْوَاهِهِمْ وَتُكَلِّمُنَا أَيْدِيهِمْ وَتَشْهَدُ أَرْجُلُهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. Because on the day of judgment, the lips, they will be sealed. They will be shut. We cannot talk. And what will come forth to speak? The hands and the feet. أَيْدِيهِمْ وَأَرْجُلِهِمْ. These will come forth and start talking. And they will say to Allah, this person did this person did that. Why? Why would your own hands testify against you? Are they not a part of you? They're not. They're not. Because your soul, my soul, is only inside this vehicle. That's a reality that we should have came to an understanding of. The soul is inside my vehicle, which is this body. And this body is a responsibility. The driver has to make sure that I'm driving this car properly. I'm not making the wrong turn. I'm not speeding. I have to use this vehicle properly, because this soul will now transfer into another vehicle on the Day of Judgment. That day, this body will speak because it would not want to go into the hellfire. And it will say, this person, he did this, he did that. Walk towards here, walk towards there. But the tongue will not speak on that day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, يَوْمَ يُكْشَفُ عَنْ سَاقٍ وَيُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ فَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ. And we will tell them, people to prostrate when Allah reveals His shin as described. We don't know the kayfiyat of that. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reveal Himself to some degree, whatever that is. Allah knows best. And people will be told, prostrate. Now you see Allah in front of you, prostrate. And they will not be able to. فَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ خَاشِيَةً أَبْصَارُهُمْ تَرْهَقُهُمْ ذِلَّةٌ وَقَدْ كَانُوا يُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ وَهُمْ سَالِمُونَ. Disgrace, humility would surround these people because they used to be called towards the prostration of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when they were alive in this world. But they did not do so. So today on the Day of Judgment, Allah will stop them. Even if they wanted to prostrate, they will not be able to. May Allah protect us from that. We have a huge responsibility to bow down to Allah. Huge. And this is not coming for Isha Salah, Tarawih prayer. I'm not talking about that prostration. There's a bigger call to humanity that our prayer is supposed to lead us towards. People are suffering, are dying, civilians are being taken out of their own homes, displaced. Each time some kind of terror attack happens by a Muslim, we are pressured by the Jews and the Christians and other faith leaders. Why don't you denounce this act of terror? Why don't you denounce this act of terror? This is Islamic terror. Denounce it. Denounce it. Pressure on us. Well, this is Israeli terror. We are telling everyone, that I can reach and you can reach. No more interfaith programs. If Jews and Christians can come out and see this for what it is, then what is the point of my interfaith program with you? When you are not able to come and stand with me and stand against oppression. These people were not even given medication. When the virus took place, all of the Israelis were given vaccinations and the Palestinians were deprived. They weren't even given vaccination. Our prostration in this regard is to respond to the call of our brothers and sisters. This is not an issue of even just Palestinians. And people go on and to say, this is an issue of not Palestine, this is an issue of Muslims. You know what? Even that's wrong. Because this is an issue of humanity, of being human being. It's even prior to becoming a Muslim. Just basic rights are being violated. We're not even fighting on the stance that this is an Islamic or Muslim issue. We're saying this is a humanitarian issue. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been reported by Nu'man bin Bashir that the Holy Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there are people who do not transgress the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there are others who do so. There are people who transgress the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there are those who do so. They are like two groups who have boarded a ship. This important example is for you and us to realize where we stand in this world. One of them settled on the upper deck and the other on the lower deck. As they're going in this ship, so when the people of the lower deck need water, they said, why should we cause trouble to the people of the upper deck? Why should we cause trouble to the people of the upper deck when we can easily make plenty of water by making a hole in our deck? Now, if the people of the upper deck do not prevent this group from such foolishness, all of them will perish. All of them will be destroyed. But if they stop them, they will all be saved. We are witnessing oppression after oppression. It is our responsibility. And how do we do that? There are many ways to go about doing that. What I recommend for us to come together as a community is that at least we sign, there's this, in Congress, the H.R. 2590, we'll be sharing this on our WhatsApp, 117th Congress will convene to promote and protect human rights, specifically regarding Palestinians. And this, we want to support it. We want to sign on to this, number one. Number two, we need to reach out to our politicians. You can go and sign a petition, urge your senators to condemn Israeli acts of terror. There's a petition, we will share that as well. Share the news of those people who are there and sharing videos of what's happening. Share that. It takes literally a few seconds. All the jokes, all the comedy we've been sharing, all the laughter, and whatever it is we've been passing on, at least take a few minutes to share truth. Share the haqq, the truth that's going on. What's happening to our brothers and sisters, share that. Rapidly. One person should share it with all of their contacts to let the truth be known, what's happening. Send letters, emails to your politicians. And join and support coalitions. There's very few organizations, and we'll share those as well in our WhatsApp group, that you can support for the education of Palestinian children, for the support of displaced families in Palestine, to promote businesses for these people who are prevented from basic necessities. That is the essence. That is the essence of Ramadan. That we should emerge, we should come out of this month realizing I have a huge responsibility. I am on the upper deck, and I cannot let the people in the lower deck from being foolish. Because I have been given the light. I have been given the guidance. How can I allow from people who do not have guidance, who are in darkness, to continue on this tirade? Because ultimately, if I allow this, then I too will drown with them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and all of tawfiq to act upon it.